Okay, chapter 5 is a continuation of our discussion of the nouns. Stevens here introduces the first declension. The first declension likewise is a vowel declension. In the second declension we were introduced to what is predominantly a masculine declension and a neuter declension, even though we had some exceptions in a feminine form. But if we look for just a moment over here in the vocabulary, we see, for example, ha angelas. And in a moment here we will see in chapter 6 the articles, thus that we know that ha in the nominative case will indicate the masculine form for the second declension nominative here, ha angelas, whereas ergon will have ta ergon, with the American nu ending, and that is ergon in the neuter nominative. So over in the first declension we have what we call our feminine endings, primarily feminine endings with just a few masculine exceptions. They have major patterns as well, in particular an alpha pure and an eta pure, though we also will see a mixed form. So let's briefly look at these patterns. What you will see is for our 4 cases that we will follow in the singular, a top to bottom lead with the alpha, then alpha final sigma for the genitive, alpha with the familiar iota, and then alpha nu for the accusative. The plural form will always be the same for every set. And you see that here's a dictum. First declension has only one plural pattern, I own, I's, as. So when we go from the alpha pure to an eta pure, we will see a different singular set. All the alphas are replaced by an eta, but the plural set remains the same, I own, I's, as. So for example, the alpha pure is represented here in cardia, cardia, cardias, cardia, and cardian, and then the plural forms as well. An example for an eta pure would be with the form of agape, and we see that as well formed. The interiors repeat and follow short prepositional phrases. We also have a mixed form where it starts in the nominative with an alpha and ends in accusative with an alpha nu, and the interior cases take an eta for the singular form, and the plural still maintains the I own, I's, as. How do you know which one it is? Well, you don't. That has to be learned by memorizing vocabulary. Okay? There's just no way around it. Now, there are some exceptions, just like we saw in the second declension. The first declension, there's actually a nominative ending for something that looks more masculine. And you will see that here, and we may encounter it more often because the word mathetes for disciple takes the kind of ending. But you just have to learn it by observation. We are just going to memorize the basic forms, alpha pure, eta pure, mixed, and then the plural form. And so your exercises in the back just kind of practice that, as well as gets a good feel for some of the exceptions. So at least we have once seen it and practice it. And then we do our translations and our locations.